Hello, believers of Christ. Hope you're doing well. So today I'll be taking you guys through Genesis chapter 5 verse 6. And it says, when Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. That's the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this verse has 7 main teachings or lessons we can take away from it. The first one, godly legacy continues through Seth. Just as Seth was born as a continuation of a godly line, now Seth continues it through Enosh. This shows that righteousness can be passed from generation to generation. The second teaching, God works through generations, not just individuals. God's plans do not stop with Adam or Seth. It continued through their descendants. Our obedience today affects future generations. The third teaching, there is a right time for every blessing. Seth waited 105 years before Enosh was born. This teaches patience. God's timing for major life events is perfect. The fourth teaching, faith can be passed to the next generation. The name Enosh means mortal or frail, which may indicate that Seth and his family understood human weakness and the need for God. Yes, Seth means mortal or frail. This teaches us to pass faith, wisdom, and God's truth. Faith, wisdom, and God's truth to our children and others, as seen in Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The fifth teaching, a legacy of righteousness begins. Seth's lineage became the line of godly people, in contrast to Cain's sinful line, as we saw in Genesis chapter 4, the previous chapter. This shows that even in a sinful world, we can choose to live righteously. The sixth teaching, patience in God's plan is necessary. Seth had to wait 105 years before having a child. Wow, that's unimaginable in today's present age, waiting 105 years to give birth, showing that waiting is part of God's process. This reminds us that God's promises and blessings come in his perfect time, as seen in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. Ecclesiastes. I hope I haven't butchered that. The seventh teaching, God keeps his promises through family lines. From Seth to Enosh and beyond, God preserved a faithful lineage, leading to Jesus Christ. Yes, Jesus Christ is King and my Savior and our Savior. We love Jesus Christ here. This teaches us that God is faithful to his covenant and his plans will never fail, as seen in Genesis chapter 12 verse 3. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. We as Christians should trust that God's plans continue beyond us. Our lives are part of a bigger story that God is writing. We as Christians should know that we have roles in God's work. No matter how small our lives have purpose in God's kingdom. Yes, we all have purposes in God's kingdom, we as Christians. We as Christians should be patient with God's timing. We should not rush God. God knows when the right time is for his blessings. Yes, God's blessings are timely and perfect. We as Christians should pass on faith to the next generation. We should teach our children and others about God's truth. We as Christians should live righteously even in a sinful world. Like Seth, we should choose faith over rebellion. Yes, faith over rebellion. Faith in Jesus Christ over rebellion with the devil. We as Christians should wait on God's blessings. Without doubt, even if things take time, we should trust that God is working. Yes, we should put all our trust and faith in Jesus Christ and God. We as Christians should remember that God's promises never fail. The Messiah came through this faithful lineage, proving God's faithfulness. Yes, Jesus Christ came through the lineage of Seth and Enosh, proving God's faithfulness. That is very powerful. So that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you very much. And as usual, God bless.